Come with me to a magical place where being labeled the Pork Queen is a compliment, where being nice is just a way of life, and where all leaders of the free world must pass through. Welcome to Iowa. Whether you're a current Iowan, an Iowa expat, or an Iowan at heart, this show is for you. This is the Iowa Podcast. Real Iowans, real talk, no drama. From the Brady Dental Care Studio, I'm Justin Brady, and Halloween's almost here, and so we have to talk to the Sultan of Spook, Mr. Ian Miller himself. You're the owner of Slaughterhouse, but there's something else we're also going to talk about today. But before we get into all that, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm beside myself, you could say. The season has begun.
Yeah. This is your big season, but maybe not actually. You have a longer season than I actually initially thought. We're going to talk all about Slaughterhouse and what is basically Haunted House version 2.0 here in Des Moines. But we're also going to talk about a new spooky speakeasy and secret keys and how you can get access to this. It's basically an underground speakeasy that's a little spooky. We're going to talk about that later. But before we do that, have you subscribed yet? Every single week, we bring you incredible Iowans doing incredible things, new stuff you didn't know about. All you have to do to stay hooked into all of it is subscribe at Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeart, Spotify, Amazon, and even, yes, we are now on X, formerly known as Twitter. You can subscribe in all of those places. So Ian, obviously, thanks for coming in here. The first question I have to ask, though, because Slaughterhouse, Des Moines-based, essentially a modern, Haunted House 2.0. Would that be a fair way to say that?
I would say
maybe that's unfair. I don't know.
6.666.
Ooh.
Oh?
Okay, good save. Good save. First question I have to ask, though, because you have this little promotional truck you drive around, almost like a bread truck kind of, but there's this dead corpse hanging in the window. How many times have you gotten pulled over?
Well, that's just the product, first of all. The meat wagon, if you will. Yeah. We only get pulled over for selfies.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. We're good friends with the authorities, you could say. If you have seen, if you're my generation or one before, Porky's, you got to know the sheriff before you start running business.
Do you get a lot of weird looks? Have you ever in the past gotten in trouble because people have people called the police on the truck? Because it looks pretty good. It's pretty convincing. It's for those that don't know, it's this dead corpse in the passenger side door, and it just dangles there as you drive around.
Yeah, we've had a few emails.
That's it, really?
By concerned citizens. But I think at this point, it's pretty much expected. If you see the Biggs Bros wandering around town or driving down the street, it's not going to be an average moment for you.
So let's get into it. It's Haunted House 6.6660 or something like that. Walk us through what this is. It's underground. It's downtown Des Moines at the corner of, what is that, Locust and, I always get this wrong, Locust and 6th?
Locust and 5th. It's right in between 5th and 6th.
Right. So walk us through what it is.
Locust proper, not East Locust.
Yes.
It's very easy to get confused on the maps.
Yeah, that happens all the time. Even to, if I'm getting stuff delivered at the East Village, because this studio is in the East Village Gravitate. And then there's also a downtown Gravitate. And so if I get I'll get calls every once in a while is this going, hey, I'm at this Locust address or Grand address. And I'm like, well, you're at East Grand, or you're at East Locust. Yeah, so people get it confused all the time. But walk us through kind of what the downtown, what is this thing? Can you accurately depict what this is for people who can't see it?
Sure, yeah. If you've been to a haunted house, it's a walkthrough experience. We have about a 20,000 square foot space. It's all subterranean. You do queue up in the alley there on Locust, right, just off Locust, and we've got the environment or the show story starts there. So you come up, you get your tickets or whatnot, or you get your tickets scanned if you've gotten them online already, and you head into the alley. We've got fog blasters and giant gargoyle and line actors out there ready to bring you into the show and get you in the spirit before you are sent down into the lair of the damned, and which is the Slaughterhouse. So it is 20,000 square feet of pure terror in the belly of the beast here in Des Moines, and it's about a 22 to 30 minute walkthrough, just based on the evening, based on how many people are coming through at any one given point in time. And we've got state of the art effects, Hollywood style sets, everything that you would imagine in your worst nightmares.
And I will say, you gave us, like, when it was opening up, because like I said, I work at Gravitate most of the time. And so Gravitate is right above the Slaughterhouse. First of all, we thought you were going to be loud and obnoxious all the time. You're like the best neighbors ever. You're amazing neighbors. But you gave us kind of a little quick walkthrough, and I wasn't entirely sure what to expect. I thought, maybe it's a little bit corny. I don't know who this Ian guy is. I don't know if he knows how to do this right. I'm not like a theatrical person at all. I don't know what goes into it. But I was like, the level of detail you guys have spent, and even the tiniest things, is just mind-blowing. It's really, really cool. So now, you mentioned actors. So for those that haven't been to a haunted house, I think most people are just familiar with some dude in an outfit may scare you every once in a while. But you have, like, actually trained actors running this thing. How many actors do you hire for this?
Our maximum or optimal number of acting staff inside the attraction is just about 69 actors. So, and that's our optimal max. So essentially we'll have between 45 and like I said, 69, 70 actors inside the attraction itself. And then we have an operational staff of about a dozen.
Goodness.
And those folks are the ones helping you get to the queue, the right place in the queue, and then helping you on your way through and on your way out.
Now, is it mostly just like a walking experience and look and see, or is it more interactive? Like, can you like paint a word picture there?
Sure, yeah. A majority of the attraction is walkthrough. However, we are, I believe, still the only haunted attraction, walkthrough style attraction, that offers a partial ride experience. So the ride is a manually operated cart ride, but it does start the show when you get down into the experience. So it simulates an old dark ride type of feel, with a rickety track and oversized carts, and it takes you into the narrative of the location, which is basically a dig site by the Biggs Bros.
What is this, Biggs Bro? What is
So we have a very steep lore. And our story goes back to the 1850s. We actually have a full 100-page novella that is available on Amazon. It reads like a historical fiction of sorts. And so we have, from location to location, developed that narrative. In the location we're at now, essentially, my partner, Lefty Biggs, has gone forward from the rendering plant to find what he had heard was a lost treasure or a hidden treasure from the Capone gang down inside the coal mine system underneath Des Moines, which is, any of you know about the history of Des Moines, it was a coal town, so there are old coal mines underneath the entirety of the city.
Yeah, so right.
We play into that actual historical narrative. And
maybe one day you'll tap into the actual coal mine network.
I hope not. And
Get a good insurance policy.
We've got plenty of that, I assure you.
That's super funny. So I'm assuming that the Slaughterhouse, because again, we're going to talk about the other thing you're working on here, but I'm assuming the Slaughterhouse is mostly an adults kind of thing, adults only.
No, honestly.
No, kids come too? How young?
As you know, as everybody knows, Halloween really has taken over the world.
It's weird, isn't it? It's just,
Yeah, it's the only holiday really that, and fittingly so, has cannibalized all other holidays. And so kids are really, with modern entertainment, kids are desensitized. So we've got some of our biggest fans are 5 and 6 year olds.
Really?
Yeah, who drag their parents there. The parents have like more horrified responses and reactions than the kids a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So plus, I think once you cross that line, you start getting closer to death in your face, your mortality. I think some of these jump scares and some of these scenarios actually become more terrifying for people. But we have people of all ages. We do recommend 8 and up, but we've got old super fans that are, like I said, 6 or 7 years old, and they wear the T-shirt and the hat, and they want to go a second time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we don't want to restrict that for the kids that are cheering for the bigs.
Yeah. So is there a science behind like timing and all this? Because it's not as simple as hire an actor, someone comes close to you and scare them, right? And I want to not ruin the experience for people who've never been there as well. So I don't really want to give away surprises. So, but is there a special science to this? You have to get the timing right. Like, is there training involved with making sure people get it right?
Oh, definitely. I mean, there are a lot of psychological factors at play, and there's definitely science at play. With acting, with their talent, it starts with a desire to do so. People that just naturally love to scare and startle others in their life that obviously have trauma that they've found a way to work through. But it starts with just a desire and a love for Halloween. And we take anyone that has that desire and obviously passes the background check.
That's the important part.
Yeah, and we help them develop a character.
No real chainsaws being brought in, hopefully.
I mean, they're real, but they're dull. They're dull, to say the least. But yeah, it starts there, really. We have some people that come to us that are trained and they are operatic majors or they're theater majors, but majority of folks are just love Halloween. They've been to a haunted house and they've always wanted to participate on a to a greater degree. So we'll bring them in and we train them. We have an audition and a training process, and then we basically throw them into the story and into the mix. And it's something you can't really train ahead of time to get the full effect and full feel of real patrons coming through and interacting with them is something that you have to drink from the fire hydrant a little bit. So.
Right. Because obviously people that you don't know, real patrons, they react in different ways. You have no idea how they're going to react. Do you have incredible stories of how people react?
Yeah, I mean, people definitely lose control of their faculties in many ways. So, our people take pride in the notches on their belts.
Yeah. Interesting. Is there a scoreboard somewhere?
Yeah, there's always scoreboards in the house. So our haunt is actually divided into 6 zones. Each zone has a zone manager or a zone leader, as we call them, and the zone leaders are responsible for typically up to a dozen haunt actors.
Oh, wow.
And which I like to call hackers. And so they all have they play their little games. So each zone kind of has they've got rivalries, friendly rivalries within the house.
That's
so
funny.
They definitely all keep track.
So part of your management crew, I think you mentioned 10 or 12 people that are just managing the whole thing. So part of their job is probably cleanup when people lose their faculties.
Yeah. Our director of maintenance, who is also kind of the janitor throughout the night. When I'm on site, I also help with that a lot. Obviously, the owners, we definitely we help with that. But yeah. There's we've got quite a bit of cat litter and on hand, as well as biohazard.
Probably puke too.
Yeah, biohazard kits.
Oh my word!
Yeah, we've got.
It just makes the experience all the more real too. When your friends are losing their faculties, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
nothing makes it more real than that.
Yeah.
I might ask you.
Tina, you did it again.
I might ask you if there are more stories later if we have time. So you keep saying Halloween, but I know that a lot of people, like business owners, are like, dude, how do you make a viable business on just one day? So obviously there's a lead up. Right. But do you have other things? I mean, obviously, we're going to talk about the haunted club in a bit. But do you have other things that keep you moving, or do you have to make all your revenue in like that 1 month stretch?
Yeah, if you are solely a haunted attraction, then you have 45 days.
Wow.
But Halloween is definitely not limited to October. It's just definitely when all of the built-in advertisement and the local excitement is always at its peak. So if for the haunted attractions that operate year round, that are a walkthrough style, typically they are mostly automated. They only utilize 1 or 2 actors in the experience, and they're usually in very dense tourist trap type areas where there's always a constant flow of traffic. So that kind of attraction doesn't work in most places unless you have other adjacent horror type experiences that can pair with a walkthrough.
So how many, is this kind of a tourism thing for Iowa then? Does this attract people to the state or to the area?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we saw a huge bolstered number of traveling attendees beginning in 2018 when we partnered with local metal heroes SlipKnot, and that brought people from all over the world. We had people from Japan, Brazil, Germany, fans from everywhere, all across the country, and that was kind of the start of the rise and the expansion of our efforts. We had a huge explosion that year, and that led to national attention within the industry, and then started to draw people from year to year.
What does that look like? Like a partnership with SlipKnot, is it an endorsement kind of thing? Like they're like, hey, this is pretty cool. Is it a rev share? I don't know what you can talk about, but I know that a lot of Iowans are like, oh yeah, SlipKnot. That's kind of like one of our big claims to fame. Real brief side note on this. I think I told you this. We were vacationing in Mexico somewhere. I don't even remember where it was. And there was this resort and this one random guy in the middle of Mexico. And he was like, where are you from? I'm like, United States. He's like, yeah, we're in the United States, Iowa. He's like, I love Iowa. It's my favorite state. I'm like, okay, yeah, you want a tip, And I'm like, okay. And he's like, no, really? Des Moines. He goes, you from Des Moines? It's the capital city of Iowa. I'm like, yeah, I am from Des Moines. He's like, favorite city. I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, SlipKnot's from there. And I was like, are you serious? Like around the world, SlipKnot, Des Moines, Iowa, people get that. So what does this relationship look like?
For me, it was a long time dream to collaborate with them in some way because we're all from the same place. And obviously SlipKnot is in the top 3 of metal bands in the world.
Right.
In the universe.
They're a really big deal for people who aren't, I'm not really into metal.
Sure.
But I do understand the weight of how much fame they actually have accumulated. It's insane.
Yeah, millions and millions of. I mean, they're up there. They're like Mr. Beast of metal.
Yeah, that's pretty good actually. Yeah.
If you're not in that genre, so. Yeah, there was definitely some, some rev share or whatnot, but it was really great working with them and with their team at 5BAM because they first and foremost wanted to do it out of a love and devout, a dedication to their fan base here in Iowa.
Sure.
And they were looking for a way to come back and do it in a meaningful way and kind of give back to the fans, but also to integrate into Halloween a little bit more and lean into the masks because they really had steered away from that intentionally.
Really?
For the majority of their career. But they got to the point, just in the last few years where they said, fuck it. We're going all in. So, so yeah, it was great. It was a really amazing experience, very immersive for their fan base. They came in, were able to provide a VIP walkthrough with fans. So fans would get to go through the attraction with one of the members of the band and get a GoPro video reel from that experience sent to them. Yeah, it was called the Dead Memories package. It was awesome.
Because they're very, very theatrical in nature, that show. Extremely theatrical.
Yeah, they're Kiss 6.6660.
Gosh. So this is like you did mention, I want to go back briefly, but you did mention something about like regions matter and this kind of thing, like a haunted attraction, regions matter. So is this like the haunted idea? Is this, there's something about Iowa where this works? Is it a national trend? Is it mostly like big cities, but for some reason Iowa is like an outlier? What is like the economics of spook or the economics of haunted stuff and haunted attractions throughout the nation?
Well, it's a little edgy. I think the topic is a little edgy in terms of why I think people are leaning towards Halloween or why Halloween is growing so much. But it is definitely a universal trend. It's not just a North American trend by any means. I think values in North America are changing a lot. Family values are changing, and as kind of standardized religions are waning a bit. It's giving way to the dark side.
Really?
Yeah.
So you think a religious change in the country has opened the door to like more haunted? You see these as being tied together.
Totally.
What?
Totally.
Yeah. Well, there's like that's interesting. I'm going to get a lot of feedback on that. I can guarantee you. So that's absolutely fascinating. I would have, and you think that's driving a national trend,
an international trend? Yeah. Because I mean, we're the front runners, right? America is like we're the flag in the ground. So for most things, entertainment based, especially so.
So basically what you're saying is people aren't going to church anymore, but they're making their Sundays at a haunted attraction now, essentially.
A new house of worship. That's right. Now, I mean, as more, right? Like
we'll give your email address out later so that some of the listeners can like complain to you and not me. Stop taking my kids from church. I'll give them your email address for all those complaints.
Yeah, as moral fiber starts to deteriorate a little bit,
That's crazy.
People are more open to experiences that before would have been, definitely frowned upon. And a really interesting thing, though, is that haunted houses actually started with organizations like JC's and churches, like Lutheran churches. Yeah. And it was my mother was actually part of a Lutheran church haunted house called Laugh in the Dark. And that was back in the 70s, and it kind of at the origin point of walkthroughs. And so it's interesting that they actually kind of originated in church basements.
That's weird. I didn't know that.
It is really strange, and so but now we've evolved to the point where it's not just normalized. It's like expected and encouraged to go and to attend haunted or horror events by a good percentage of the majority. So
we want to talk about the Adventureland partnership but also want to talk about the new thing, because I wanted to at least give some context for the Slaughterhouse, for the people who don't know what that is, because obviously most of our audience is not in Des Moines, it's in Iowa. And so this is a good reason to come into downtown Des Moines and for a day and try out the Slaughterhouse. But you have a new thing, and I knew you were working on something just due to proximity, but all of a sudden, it's Fifth on Fifth Avenue. If you're heading south, which you can now head south and north on part of the street, it's really weird.
It's great for us.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Is it really good for you? Okay, well there you go. So if you're heading on Fifth, there's this just tiny little skull sticking out, and that's it. And it's like this hidden door. It's kind of recessed back into the building, and it just says, "Is it just the haunted? Is that all it is?"
Yeah,
it's basically what is this thing? It's a club essentially. It's like an underground speakeasy club kind of thing. This is like the new thing. I don't think anybody knows about this yet, so you're kind of breaking it here. Can you explain what this is?
Yeah, so when we first built the attraction in our location downtown, we designed into the space a micro theater. And our intent always was to expand the immersive offerings of what we do beyond just a standard walkthrough kind of experience. I am a huge fan of alternate reality gaming and immersive theater, out-of-seat theater. And experiences like Meow Wolf and Sleep No More in New York have really changed the map in terms of what you can offer. And people are now looking for out-of-seat theater and something beyond just a seated experience and a staged experience. So we created this small, very, very turn of the century speakeasy type component of the walkthrough. It's right in the middle of the attraction, and with the goal of eventually serving patrons there in a new way. And so we have gnashed the teeth this last year and received a license to serve, and we are going forward opening the Haunt Halloween night.
And I do like the commitment to staying like in character throughout this interview. I just want you to know. I do, keeping the terminology solid and the idioms. I do appreciate that. So what is it? I haven't even seen this yet. I did a brief walkthrough because you demoed it of the actual Slaughterhouse, but I have not seen, I don't think anyone has seen outside of you and your crew, what this is. So can you give us a word picture on what is this a 20, well, it's not 24 hours, but is this a year round thing people can access? Is it only during Halloween? Is it a bar? Is there food? Is there entertainment? What does all that look like?
Yeah. So
that's a lot I just threw at you, but I'll space it out if you need me to.
No worries. So again, this is probably the only theater bar in the middle of a haunted attraction in the world.
Interesting.
So it is quite literally a physical haunted attraction set that you can go and hang out in, or you will be able to. And you'll be able to do that Friday and Saturday nights is when we're starting in November. We're having a special event, soft opening of sorts on Halloween night.
Okay.
Which we'll have all of our people there, as well as some select patrons. And in order to attend that event, you will need one of our keys. You'll need a key to the haunt, which is another aspect that we are providing, which is a part of that theatrical experience of being a member to a speakeasy in a way that you may needed to have been back in the days of Prohibition, a pass code of sorts, to get into certain aspects. We're going to be open to the general public most nights, but there will definitely be evenings where happenings are occurring that are only open and accessible by the key holders.
So it's drinks and food, just drinks, what's that look like?
Just drinks. Yep. And we're definitely providing a huge selection of mocktail and NA options. We're not huge heavy drinkers, but I mean, we love our single malts and whatnot, and our absinthe, which we will have absinthe service, traditional absinthe service as well. But we also enjoy NA beverages, and we know that that's definitely a growing trend as well. And so we're going to provide plenty of those for folks.
Yeah, it is a really crazy trend. As I get older, I kind of notice if I have one drink, I'm just like, ugh, the next day. So it is really cool to see a very rapidly growing industry that's like serving people who don't drink. It's interesting. So I know that you dropped a little hint there, and I know that people are going to latch onto it. And so I have to ask, how do you get a key? Ian, how do you get a key? This is what Iowans probably want to know, is how do they get the key to get in?
Yeah, I would say currently your best bet to figuring that out would be just to follow along on our socials. Mm-hmm. And if you need to find the socials, if you can't for some reason, you're not very proficient with Google. It is the Slaughterhouse, and if you're in the Des Moines area, it's just going to pop up. But you can go to our website at hearpig.com or slaughterhousedm.com, and you can just follow along from there. All of our socials are pretty close to the same name, but there will be news as we go along as to where some of those keys may have been lost or
there's another hint,
potentially be found.
Where those keys have been lost. That's interesting. I guess I'll say no more. So before I let you go, last minute, what's up with the Adventureland partnership? This is also a new thing. Slaughterhouse has partnered with Adventureland. Of course, now you have the Haunt, the bar, the Speakeasy. So you're kind of expanding your horror footprint in the state. What's up with the Adventureland partnership?
Yeah, so Adventureland 2 years ago changed ownership, and it went from the Krantz family to a company called Palace Entertainment. And I had been speaking with the park for many years, of course, about the opportunity and the possibility of haunting Adventureland. And when Palace came in, it was one of their first goals was to open for Halloween. And so I was able to work with them to develop a partnership where we could help manage theatrically their show there, the Phantom Fall Fest. And so we started with management last year, theatrical management. So I direct the show out there. And then we have a core staff of about 20 that provide not just management for makeup, costuming, and theatrical management, but also some of the key talent. So we have a core group of Slider and Stiltwalker special talent this year. And we also have begun to build and design some of the set work
at
that is
Adventureland
inside the show.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a second year, just opened this weekend, so I'm a little bit more hoarse than normal.
Yep.
I've been yelling at 100 cats all weekend. But we've had a great show opening, and the show out there is expanded greatly from the year before, and people are having a good time. It's an amazing atmosphere. If you like Halloween Horror Nights, you've been to any of the other parks that do Halloween, we are quickly approaching, setting a new benchmark for amusement park haunted experiences. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a lot of faith and confidence that Palace and Adventureland is going to become, with our help as well, become one of the premier amusement park Halloween offerings.
Wow, interesting.
So, yeah, come on out and check that show out for sure.
We're gonna have to touch in with you on that then maybe next year in a couple of years and see how that's doing. Ian Miller, owner of the Slaughterhouse, of course, the new Speakeasy coming out here on Halloween, the Haunt, and of course, I don't even know what in like a curator at Adventureland's horror stuff. It's, for lack of a better term, that's what I'll say. Website again, so people can find you and maybe get one of those keys.
Yeah, sure. Hearpig.com is our redirect, but slaughterhousedm.com is the proper link there. And yeah, come and join us for some terror.
Ian, I appreciate you coming on the show and on the Iowa podcast. And to my fellow Iowans, Iowa expats, and Iowans at heart, thanks for listening and subscribing to the Iowa podcast.